When we first met, it was also raining.
Such impeccable swordplay. I expected nothing less from you, Saber.
To a Magus, the most important thing for her to protect is not her life. What she has to defend at all costs is the sanctity of her soul.
I guess I should congratulate you on a job well done. I underestimated you. You give your objectives top priority, regardless of your opponent. You are an excellent Magus, young lady.
Caster.
きらめく涙は星に風に乗り空を飾る月明かり雲に途切れても僕を照らすまっすぐなレールが嫌で闇雲に駆け出した諦めを決意に変えてすり減ったかかと誇る道は続く西へ東へ日は沈んでもきらめく涙は星に風に乗り空を飾る月明かり雲に途切れても僕を照らす
You bent my blade with just one strike. I expected nothing less from your sword.
All that fighting of yours in the end was for nothing. What a pity.
Damn it.
That's right. Now that I'm on level footing, I can finally unleash my turning swallow strike. This is a fight to the death. Stop thinking about what will happen next.
There's no need for you to protect that girl. I've decided I'd rather use you as my sacrifice instead.
You and I were both called forth to fulfill certain duties. Just as it's my duty to protect this gate, you too have something to protect. Don't waste time on hesitation. Besides, need I remind you that you're not the only one who is almost out of time.
My apologies. You're right. Neither of us has time to spare.
Come on!
What? Are you out of gins now? This won't be any fun if you don't at least put up a fight.
beautiful little songbird. But in reality, you were nothing less than a lion. I have always thought of myself as a fairly decent judge of women. I obviously lacked training in that area, too.
Master, please go inside. I am more than capable of handling these two all by myself.
Tosaka, can you get out of here?
Unfortunately, no.
I have quite a special finish in store for you.
Shiro, stand back!
There's no way you can defeat me. Not after being struck by my rule breaker. You, of all people, should know this, Saber. Stop being foolish. This temple is an extension of myself. Without the use of your sacred sword, do you really think you're capable of destroying an entire city?
Kuzuki! You have to make Caster stop! If nobody stops her, she's gonna try to kill everyone in this city!
You know, perhaps it would be best if I were to sacrifice both of you. That would definitely allow us to see the Holy Grail at its finest. However, depending on your actions, I might be persuaded to spare the boy's life.
At what cost?
All Saber would have to do is simply become my slave. I've no doubt that you would prove to be a much better tool than my late assassin was.
That's enough. It seems to me you've forgotten your place, half-breed. You've become nothing more than a fool grasping at straws. Watching this event play out has been rather amusing. However, I'm afraid that last statement of yours went a bit too far, Caster. You disgusting little Magus! The mere thought of keeping the King of Knights enslaved is unforgivable! As the king, she belongs to me. There's only one punishment for someone who touches a king's treasure. So long, half-breed.
Master!
What I've told you is true. You do believe me, don't you?
I have no interest in this holy grail of yours. Nor do I have one of those command seals you speak of. However, if you still require my assistance, then I'm willing to help you with your needs.
You are a most unusual individual.
Please do your best not to disturb my current living arrangements. And when you need my assistance, let me know.
Master, did you get hurt?
I'm fine.
That's good. I couldn't bear the thought of you hurt. It's unfortunate, but this comes just as my dream was in sight.
There's nothing to grieve over. I'll personally see that your dream comes true, regardless of what's happened.
I don't know if that will be possible. And besides, my wish has already come true. Take care of yourself.
Been a long time, Saber. Do you remember what I had decided? What's that look for? Don't tell me you're still not ready to go through with everything. It's a very foolish woman who makes a man like me wait. This gloomy cave has been a terrible place for our reunion. We shall meet again, Saber. Have that answer from 10 years ago ready when we do.
Saber, who was that guy?
Just save that for later.
We have to get out of here. Shiro, hurry! Although I am loath to admit it, I do know that servant.
So it's true. That guy really is a servant after all.
Yes, he's of the Archer class. On the last day of the previous Holy Grail War, amidst a large sea of flames, he and I fought against each other. And in the end, I was unable to defeat him.
So then you're saying that you lost to that servant?
I can't believe Saber wasn't able to beat that guy.
I'm beginning to wonder if this servant wasn't summoned up for this war at all, but instead decided to stick around after the last one. Only 7 servants can be summoned for any given Grail War. If there's a servant who isn't one of those 7, he can only be the victor of the previous war. He must have gained possession of the Grail, and used its power to allow him to stay in this world permanently. In other words, if you win the Grail, you can choose to keep your servant in this world permanently. Regardless, this doesn't change the fact that he appears to be our enemy. Did you ever find out his true identity?
Unfortunately, no. I did what I could to find that out in our previous battles, but always to no avail. The noble phantasm this epic hero uses doesn't give away his identity.
Maybe he doesn't really have a noble phantasm.
Of course he does. He used a ton of them back there. Therefore, figuring out his identity should be easy.
But did you recognize even one of those noble phantasms he used? See? Figuring out his identity is far from easy. He has a seemingly endless supply of noble phantasms, the true mark of an epic hero.
I don't think he was faking it either. Nothing but a genuine noble phantasm could have broken through Castor's defenses like that.
Given that we can't figure out who he is, the next question should be, what are his objectives?
In the course of our last battle, he proposed to me. Needless to say, I spoke with my blade and turned him down. I'm not permitted such freedoms in the first place. And to be honest, I find such attempts at humor rather annoying.
As the king, she belongs to me.
Very well. I think I should be getting back to Sakura's place now. Someone should be there when she wakes up so she doesn't think she's alone.
Saber, about what Rin said earlier.
Yes, regarding what?
If a servant obtains the Holy Grail, then they have the option to stay in this world if they want. Which means...
I have absolutely no intention of staying here. Instead, if I were to win the Grail, then I would simply wish to return to my original life.
You want to redo the selection of the king, don't you? You have no intention of saving yourself from dying.
King Arthur has no understanding of the hearts of men. How can a king who doesn't understand the hearts of his own subjects possibly lead their country?
It is a king's duty to protect their country. My strength was not equal to that task. The least I can do is ensure that a proper king is chosen instead of me.
That's ridiculous! This isn't about the duties of a king! Stop letting what happened in the past control what you do in the future! You're here now, so do whatever you want to! If you want to change who you are, fine. Just figure out a way to do that in the present, instead of wallowing in the past!
Shiro, I would appreciate it if you would just drop this subject.
But you...
Besides, simply winning the Holy Grail does not guarantee that I'll be able to stay in this era. I'm saying this because I know there's no way that servant could have obtained the Grail. During the last Grail War, the Grail itself was destroyed by the same man who betrayed me. He was my master, Kiritsugu Emiya.
Kiritsugu Emiya? You mean my dad?
That's right. 10 years ago, in the previous Holy Grail War, the master I served under, Shiro, was none other than your father. At the end of the battle, Kiritsugu and I stood victorious, and the Holy Grail passed into his hands. If everything had gone the way it should, the Grail War would have ended when we defeated Archer and his master. However, Kiritsugu rejected the Holy Grail. As a result, the city was engulfed in flames. When it came time to obtain the Grail, your father ordered me to destroy it. And because only a servant may touch the Holy Grail, Kiritsugu used his last command seal to force me to do so. If the Holy Grail is destroyed, a servant cannot remain in this world. And so my memories end there. As a consequence, I was never able to finish my battle with that golden servant, nor did I get the chance to ask Kiritsugu why he betrayed me.
Why haven't you told me any of this before, Saber? Why didn't you tell me my dad was your master?
I could not bring myself to tell you what sort of master your father was. I've caught several glimpses of your past, Shiro. When I saw him in your dreams, I couldn't believe how much Kiritsugu had changed. If I were to tell you the Kiritsugu I remember, I would be describing a stereotypical Magus. He was interested only in his own objectives, and nothing could remove him from that path. He wasn't a cruel man by any means, nor was he a cold-blooded killer. However, he suppressed all emotion within him and easily killed anyone who was his enemy. I have no idea what would drive a person to behave the way he did. But when he stood before the Holy Grail, the very thing he had been fighting for, he commanded me to destroy it. I must confess, I have never cursed the existence of command seals, nor anyone who has ever betrayed me, as much as I did that day. When the Grail materialized in the previous war, it was destroyed by your father. Perhaps it's possible to create a new one, as Castor was trying to do. If that's true, I won't allow anyone to stand in my way. I will obtain it this time.
He should be able to tell me everything that happened in the last war.
I wish I had something to offer you to drink, but I'm afraid I don't. Forgive me. I have nothing to welcome you with. This is all rather fascinating, isn't it? Saber not being dead yet and all. She remains outside the realm of death and rebirth.
She told me that if she were to win the Holy Grail, then she would finally fulfill her role as a servant.
I'm gathering that you wish to free your saber from this role as servant. Nothing could be simpler. All you have to do is make Saber drink from the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail is very powerful. When a servant drinks the water that fills the Grail, they are granted a second life in the present world. They'll retain the same form they had as a servant, but they will be able to remain here for as long as their master lives.
But the only way to do this is to win the Holy Grail. And then...
Hopefully, I've answered all your questions. If so, I suggest you return home without delay. This war is not over yet. Going out for a stroll without Saber is just shy of madness.
There's something else I want to ask about. It's about there now being an 8th servant.
A what? Fate, stay night. Next time, Distant Trace of a Dream.